Hey folks, it's Jamie here, and today we are checking out Sport Lab, which has just released on App Lab and Steam VR. Now this is the follow-up to Physics Playground. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of a very Boneworksy, physics-driven like VR experience. And this is very much in that same vein, as you can already see here, me playing around with some of the physics in the game. But this being on App Lab, this is one of the more direct ways to get a Boneworks style experience on the Quest right now, and I've been playing around with it and it's pretty fun. It's just a very simple wave shooter. You can spawn weapons like you see I'm doing here. Getting some different melee types, and then you can choose from different pistols and, you know, automatic weapons and shotguns too. And then you can just spawn waves of enemies incoming, but you can also, you know, play around with some of these props. So let's get a large ball. Yeah, why not? And then you can also use balloons, thrusters, you know, get some real fun going with the physics, or you could just spawn different types of enemies. I thought, okay, I'll spawn a ragdoll dummy, and then remembered, oh yes, a ragdoll dummy will indeed ragdoll. So yeah, here's a melee dummy, and I'll just show you some of what's possible with the game's combat, which is what I'm really focused on in this video. Here's a stun baton. Very convincing. You know, if you've played Walking Dead Saints and Sinners on Quest, you'll probably know what to expect here. But this is kind of much more in the line of Boneworks. It's a bit more ambitious on the physical side. As you can see, as I take a katana to the large ball and stab it real good. Take that. You killed my father, and I have exacted revenge. So yeah, it's a very much a sandbox type experience. Once you're playing around with all these things, basically what you want to do is hit the wave spawn button. I'm just kind of stocking up on weapons I might use and struggling with the grabbing system. In true Boneworks fashion, I'll push the button with the gun and not with my hands, because that feels cool. All the kind of weapon reloading you'd expect, and then wave one, yeah, and this is just a very simple wave-based attack mode. Enemies walking at you, sometimes they have guns, so they can shoot at you instead. But it's been a while since I've played Boneworks, and it just felt great to get back into that kind of physics-driven VR that feels very, very immersive, and, you know, guns don't just wave around. You have to hold them with two hands to get like a solid, solid accuracy. Otherwise, if you try and fire like an assault rifle with just one hand, you'll have like recoil everywhere, and you have no chance of hitting someone. There's also a slow-mo mechanic which is assigned to the lower button that I would usually use for reloading in VR, so I keep activating it accidentally. But I'll try and use it in a second. The gun detail, like this is running on my Quest 2, the gun detail is really, really impressive. There's a lot of really, really impressive elements to the game. You can even try the experimental 120 Hz support if that's your thing. But the developer does warn that, you know, adding in too much stuff into the world, whoops, down he goes. Adding in too much stuff to the world and, you know, adding in too many elements and those high performance things will probably cause some stutter. Right, let's try the slow-mo. Oh, he's disappeared. Okay, great. Well, that's embarrassing. I was trying to look cool, but I failed. So, this is interesting. You see, I don't really have a way to get out of here, but, you know, if you've played Boneworks, you know that you kind of have to come up with your own ways to get out of things, and this is where I learned that actually I can use the jump to pretty... Oh, well, not the first time. But just like that, I managed to get up. So this is developed by a team called Virtual, and I think they've done a really, really fantastic job with this. I would love to see them come and try and flesh it out more and build a real full game around it, rather than just, you know, this kind of sandbox mode. Because they have, it seems like they have everything in place to, you know, make a really, really good single-player Boneworks clone. All the weapons feel really, really fantastic. They've really nailed the reloading. Anyway, let's go and get some more weapons. Of course there's a crowbar because, you know, Boneworks was a very Half-Life inspired game, and this is a very Boneworks inspired game, so I guess the crowbar survives. And I think actually this is where I start to struggle because there's lots of people with lots of guns. Oh no, this guy's gonna get me. Oh, especially if I miss like that. Okay, no, I got him. And then I showed him who's boss, but I think this guy's got a gun too. I'm trying a little lightsaber style deflection. I tried to throw it, but that wasn't working. But we're gonna go for the big finale now, which is you may have noticed the zip wire on that building. We're gonna try something very cinematic and cool and see if it works. Probably won't. Let's press the button again, this time with a sword, because why not? Okay. We have a long journey ahead of us now. We're going to get to the top of that building. Unfortunately, this poor soul is in our way, so he's going to get chopped. The melee, the kind of like... The sharper melee weapons still need a bit of work. They're very sticky, which feels very, very good. They don't feel slicey, if that makes sense. They feel like very, very sharp batons. Also getting a crowbar for my ambitious plan. But yeah, as you can see, like the physics and the melee combat hasn't really messed up the entire time we've been playing now. And that's really impressive to see on Quest. But of course, Stress Level 0 is also making a new Boneworks title on Quest, and I cannot wait to see what they do with that as well. Alright, getting to the top. Over to this zip wire. That person is kind of nearly where I want them to be. Let's see if we can do some sort of very cinematic head slice while on top of a wire. Making sure I get the right grip. Yeah, here he is. We can do this. Down we go. Activate slow-mo. Yeah, no. Unfortunately not. But so yeah, that's sport mode. Out now on App Lab and Steam VR if you want to give it a look. I really like it. I think it's very, very cool. It is just a sandbox thing. There's not much depth to it. But yeah, thanks for watching. And if you want to see more App Lab coverage, more Quest coverage, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you soon for all the VR stuff.